EasyJet or Ryan or something like that, you will probably have to check even something like this because their planes are small. And then 50 pounds is the U.S. carrier norm, but you better double check with EasyJet and Ryanair and those guys because sometimes it's less than 50 pounds. If it's X amount over 50, they won't even check it. I mean, they'll like Delta, we just flew down to Quito, anything over 50 pounds, out of 35 people, because we went with the School of Nursing, I had 4 people that were over 50 pounds, even though we had this lecture. So they're digging stuff out, you know, trying to, and it's $100. It's $100 on international flights for anything over 50 pounds. And so you gotta have to, you know, again, what do I really need to take with me?
What about
so you recommend the 2 pieces of luggage versus just 1 backpack?
Well, if you're going to have 1 backpack, you're going to need a small little backpack like this or smaller as a day pack. Okay. Because when you go to the Louvre, you go somewhere, you're going to want to put a baguette and something in there. What I didn't bring it, I couldn't find it this morning. I actually cheat a little bit. Sometimes I have 3. I have this one, which I carry on the plane with me, and then I have a kind of a really small nylon one that, you know, the kind of the see-through ones and stuff they give away. That way I can throw like a sandwich and a bottle of water and something in the back when we go on a day trip. So I don't even have to carry that around, but you will definitely need something.
So something a little smaller.
Or like a day.
Than a big bag.
Right, like a day, well, normally people call it day pack.
Day pack.
Yeah, because you're going to want to put some stuff in it, and you know, because a lot of times if we leave the hotel at 8, we won't be back till 6 p.m.
Okay.
Mystery.
What about like a backpack that I took to Quito? Would you say that would be too big?
I don't remember exactly how big it was. If you have a question about backpacks, bring it up here. I mean, we got plenty of time to stop by my office. I'll let you know. I mean, mainly, you know what I'm talking about, like the ones that are really tall and really long, and then they have the side things. That's usually a little bit too much. I mean, whatever, 75 liters. It's too much. You don't need that much. To tell you the truth.
And as I told you that if you want to do shopping in China and Europe, then don't carry 50 pounds from here because you need to bring something from there. So maximum I would suggest you to carry 25 or 30 pounds from here. And I will even if you are carrying this big backpack, I will strongly suggest you to carry the day bag because it would be really useful. You need to have your camera, food, umbrella, all those things in the day bag.
Water, and this guy, lightweight rain jacket. Got to have that. In 6 weeks of traveling, I'm 100% sure it's going to rain one day. So again, I'm not advocating brands and this and that. Magellan, you know, is a travel company. Columbia, North Face, you guys know. I mean, what I do sometimes, I go to Walmart and I buy something that is going to work. And then if it gets lost somewhere or left on a train, I mean, you really don't want your $300 North Face jacket going with you. And if you leave it on the train and it's, you know, gone, you don't want to be mad for 2 weeks about it. So, but you definitely need a lightweight, packable rain jacket. So that would be one thing you'd want to put in your day pack because you never know when it's going to rain. The other thing that people don't think about too much is shoes. They take up a lot of room, and they're very, very important because if you screw up your feet, you're messed up. Okay, so you actually need to think a little bit about footwear. Yes, ma'am.
There's been a lot of discussion about boots for the sites that we're going to visit. And I know I kept talking to a couple of these guys and then also Adrienne, who's the other girl. Our shoes are like typical day shoes, aren't your standard like construction site approved shoe. What do you recommend?
I do. Now, when we went to Quito, we were working 8 hours a day on a site. We needed work boots. I mean, that trip was working, so we brought all that stuff with us. My guess is, and we haven't solidified all of the construction visits, but when you go on a construction visit in Europe and even China, they're all about PPE. I mean, they invented PPE in England 15 years ago. What you really need is something like this. And this is what I would call it is, if you have a hard sole, basically a Vibram sole, you can walk on construction sites. Okay, it's obviously not steel-toed. It's not a Red Wing boot. I would not want to pour concrete on it, but it will keep me fairly safe on the construction site. I can also wear it to the ballet if I need to, and if you buy the right shoe, walking shoe, you can basically use it every day, most of the time. So look for like a Vibram sole. Last time, I buy a lot of my stuff at Odd Lots and stuff like that. I mean, it says they, Born, V-O, the little two dots above R-N, it's German. Oh my God, they were great. I mean, they were the most comfy. It's like walking in on pillows, but they had a really hard sole on the bottom. So I use that for construction visits and my everyday. So for me, you know, I've narrowed it down to two. And someone's going to say, well, what about sandals? I like to wear sandals. Well, okay, then you got to think about it. You know, where's that going to go? Is it really worth it? We're actually coming back, or you got to be back in Auburn on the 24th of June. So we're really not in the super hot season. Like if we were going in July and August, yeah, I wore out some sandals before. But, you know, probably flip-flops aren't going to work. You know, they're not good day shoes to wear all day when we're walking around, because we're going to hoof it. We use public transportation and we walk, no taxis. Okay, so we walk a lot and then we jump on the subway or something like that. So you need some type of good words. Running shoes, in my opinion, are not really that great for your everyday shoes. If you want to, that's fine. I'm not advocating people got to buy a whole new wardrobe, but my experience is after day after day after day, your feet kind of get tired, so you need to swap out into something else. And if the something else is only flip-flops, you're kind of up the creek. I like, because I do like to swap out once in a while, and if I get motivated, it's kind of cool to jog around different cities. You know, you can jog around the Tuileries or go to Hyde Park in London and jog around. And so I do, you know, but you can see that, you know, it's going to take up some room. So then the question is, does it go in here? Does it go in here? Or you can kind of cheat and you can kind of stuff it in your little strappy things on the outside. You know, you kind of start accumulating things after a week. That's what Professor Azar is saying is don't pack 50 pounds because then you can't buy any souvenirs. And, you know, you're going to want to buy some like shirts and stuff while you're traveling. One guy, when we went to China, he was a short guy, but he was pretty heavy set, and he bought this Kung Fu Panda shirt. And everybody made fun of him, and so he wore it like every day. And the thing about it is he needed like an extra large, and they only had like a medium, so it just was so, and it was so funny, and he just, you know, wore it all the time. Well, finally, you know, he tossed that and he bought another one. So you don't want to cram every single thing in here, because you've got to leave a little bit, you know, of room in there for stuff. Question?
One of my buddies was telling me that he went to China and he said when you leave China, you're going to want to toss your shoes. Is that from your
When you're going to want to what?
When you leave China, you're not going to want to put those shoes you've been wearing back in your pack.
Why?
He just said they were nasty when he got done just walking through the streets there. Is that true at all?
Nah.
No.
It's no more true than walking around Auburn. I'm not sure the basis of the comment, but no. What? Yes. Next.
In England and Germany, I've heard during the summer, since we're going to the beginning